Travis Kelce enters the Chiefs' locker room celebrating his first touchdown of the season after the Chiefs vs. Raiders game. The Chiefs' tight end, 35, caught a touchdown pass for the first time this season during Sunday's AFC West clash against the Raiders in Las Vegas. Kelce caught a pass from quarterback Patrick Mahomes on a third-and goal in the second quarter to give the Chiefs a 3-point lead. Kelce had gotten off to a slow start this season, catching just 8 passes for 69 yards over the Chiefs' first 3 games, but he got more involved in Week 4 against the Chargers, catching 7 passes for a season-high 89 yards as second-year wide receiver Rashee Rice went down with a knee injury. Kelce then had season highs with 10 targets and 9 catches in Week 5 against the Saints, finishing with 70 yards. His production dropped in last week's Super Bowl rematch against the 49ers, tallying 4 receptions for 17 yards in the Chiefs' 28-18 win. Despite the ongoing chatter about Kelce's quiet start, his teammates have had his back. Before the Chiefs-Chargers matchup on September 29, Rice and members of Kansas City's receiving corps wore t-shirts in support of Kelce, with CBS Sports' Tracy Wolfson reporting that Rice got them for all the WRs to honor their leader and a guy who has mentored all of them, especially Rice. The Chiefs, currently chasing their 3rd straight Super Bowl win, have not lost faith in their all-pro tight end, believing additional coverage from opposing defenses has been a factor in his lack of production. Kansas City is seeking its 7th straight win of the early 2024 season. The Chiefs, riding a remarkable 13-game winning streak since last season, are fresh off a solid 28-18 victory over the San Francisco 49ers. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes faced challenges, throwing 2 interceptions, but his defense shined, snagging 3 picks from 49ers QB Brock Purdy. Adding firepower, Kansas City recently acquired wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, making them even more formidable. The Raiders, on the other hand, are in dire need of a turnaround after losing 3 straight games, including a narrow 20-15 defeat to the LA Rams last week. Perhaps it's fate that this happened on National Tight Ends Day. Not many people would have predicted that it would take Kelce this long to get his first touchdown of the year. Regardless, it's the 75th touchdown catch of Kelce's career. Next in his sights is Jimmy Graham, who ranks 4th all-time with 89. That means Kelce needs to catch 16 more touchdowns to pass him, which obviously isn't happening this season. It's possible that Kelce catches Graham in 2025, but he'll need to really up his production. He may not get there at all, as Kelce is slated to hit free agency at the end of the 2025 season and could call it a career depending on how things go over the next 2 years. Above Kelce and Graham are Rob Gronkowski with 92, Tony Gonzalez with 111 and Antonio Gates with 116. Kelce's season high in touchdown catches in 12, coming back in 2022. Kelce will likely pass Gates later this season in receptions and yards, which would put him 3rd all-time by a tight end in both categories. Kelce should also pass Witten in receiving yards by the end of the 2025 season. Interestingly, Kelce's touchdown came just a night after Swift performed a touchdown celebration in her New Orleans concert on Saturday. That said, fans couldn't help but notice that interesting coincidence, or not. Travis Kelce got his first regular season touchdown in 13 games, just hours after Taylor Swift did this at her concert. "This is Tevadu," a fan said, referencing Swift's touchdown celebration on stage. Taylor Swift had the script last night. Travis Kelce scored just his first touchdown of the season, another social media user shared. A supporter echoed the same sentiment, noting, "Taylor Swift does this at her show last night and then Travis Kelce scores his first touchdown in 13 games. Tevadu is real confirmed. I just think it's no coincidence that Taylor Swift threw a football and called touchdown, then Travis Kelce proceeded to get a touchdown the very next game," a 4th fan shared. Travis Kelce gets his first touchdown of the season in a game against the Raiders that is also the 75th touchdown of his career, and Taylor Swift apparently predicted it. "Happy National Tight End Day to all who celebrate," a commenter added. Indeed, Taylor Swift's touchdown celebration couldn't have come at a better time. Perhaps it's the reason why Travis Kelce was motivated to score, or maybe the pop star really predicted it. Regardless, it's a reason to celebrate not just for the Chiefs faithful, but also for the power couple. Hopefully, it's just the first of many more touchdowns for Kelce after his rough start to the season. Incredibly, it was the three-time Super Bowl's first TD of the season. Rather aptly, it came against a bitter division rival on the day the NFL celebrates the game's tight end position. Kelce loves playing against the Raiders and continued to haunt them throughout the first half. After catching a pass from Mahomes on a 2nd and 2 in the second quarter, Kelce took the outright lead for most receptions all-time against the Raiders. At the time of writing, he has 115 receptions against the Black-Silver, one more than fellow TE and franchise legend Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates, 111, and Keenan Allen, 106, are third and fourth on the list respectively for most receptions against Las Vegas. National Tight Ends Day is a holiday that originated in 2018, and celebrates stars like Kelce and San Francisco 49ers tight end George Kittle. Kittle is one of the players who came up with the idea after another San Francisco tight end, Garrett Selleck, caught a touchdown pass from Jimmy Garoppolo in Week 2 of that NFL season. I was like, yeah, it's National Tight Ends Day. It's a holiday. Tight ends all over the league are scoring touchdowns, Kittle said. That's how it came to be. We just kind of rolled with it, the idea stuck, and now every NFL season, the fourth Sunday of October is celebrated as National Tight Ends Day. Kelce is considered one of the greatest tight ends of all time. He also holds the record for career postseason receptions at 165, set the record for single-season receiving years by a tight end in 2020 and became the fastest tight end to reach 11,000 yards in 2023, among other impressive statistics. However, the 35-year-old has started the season slowly by his lofty standards, evidenced by the fact it took him until Week 8 to register his first touchdown of the campaign. The Ohio native addressed his slow start to the season on a recent episode of New Heights with brother Jason. I've had a lot of catches in this league, man. I'm not worried about, the catches and the yards and all of that. I have the most fun when I get the ball thrown my way. I mean, who doesn't? Kelce said, as long as we're winning football games, we're good to go, baby. The reigning Super Bowl champions have won again this season. Heading into Sunday's matchup with the Raiders, they are a perfect 6-0 in 2024, the NFL's only remaining undefeated team. They are widely expected to continue that winning streak against a Raiders team who are still the last team to beat the Chiefs. However, Mahomes is 10-2 against Las Vegas for his career. Kelce, meanwhile, has had 111 catches for 1,424 yards and has scored 11 touchdowns in 20 games against the Raiders in his career. The Chiefs are bidding for an unprecedented third consecutive Super Bowl this season, having tasted victory in the last two showpiece events. That means Kelce needs to catch 16 more touchdowns to pass him, which obviously isn't happening this season. It's possible that Kelce catches Graham in 2025, but he'll need to really up his production. He may not get there at all, as Kelce is slated to hit free agency at the end of the 2025 season and could call it a career depending on how things go over the next 2 years. Above Kelce and Graham are Rob Gronkowski with 92, Tony Gonzalez with 111 and Antonio Gates with 116. Kelce's season high in touchdown catches in 12, coming back in 2022. Kelce will likely pass Gates later this season in receptions and yards, which would put him third all-time by a tight end in both categories. Kelce should also pass Witten in receiving yards by the end of the 2025 season. While a Taylor Swift appearance at a football game might have broken the internet just a few years ago, Swifties and non-Swifties alike are now quite used to her showing up to support boyfriend Travis Kelce and his team, the Kansas City Chiefs. And yesterday, Swift made another such appearance at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City as Kelce and co. faced off against the New Orleans Saints. Those who remember Swift's first forays into football fandom back in 2023 will recall her wild reactions, big faces and full-on joy as she cheered on her man. And yet yesterday's visit to KC seemed somewhat, I dunno, subdued? Swift's body language seems to be standing in stark contrast to her previous behavior. None of this is to say that Swift didn't smile, clap and genuinely support her man. But the lack of excessive excitement that used to be present may be a sign that their relationship has moved into a new phase, the comfort phase. New love is often marked by giddiness, silliness and wild displays of affection. We certainly got plenty of those from Swift and Kelsey early on. But as their relationship has evolved and matured, it seems that they are in a much more grounded and comfortable place, likely a good sign for the future. Could Swift's lackluster cheering be a sign of trouble in paradise? Sure, anything's possible. But it is just as likely, if not more so, that things have simply leveled off between the two. In case you forgot what Swift's previous football appearances looked like, back in December 2023, she was photographed absolutely losing it next to Brittany Mahomes. This leveling off in their relationship isn't only evident when Swift is by herself, it was also recently pointed out by body language expert Darren Stanton, who was speaking on behalf of Spin Genie, when she was with Kelsey at the U.S. Open. Per Stanton, things have obviously calmed down a bit, something to be expected as any relationship progresses. He said, the PDA from the pair was very full-on for a while, holding hands and kissing in public, but this seems to have decreased as time has gone on. Kelsey's only really trying when Swift's looking. She's like a firework as usual, but it's only when she looks at him that he really engages. The fact that Swift and Kelsey continue to support one another, Kelsey even gave her a subtle nod during his recent acting gig, is a sign that things are still going strong. And as much as Taylor loves butterflies, those initial butterflies can only last so long. Travis Kelce has become quite the internet sensation in recent times. Ever since news about him dating the singing superstar Taylor Swift surfaced, Kelce has gone viral. As a matter of fact, both Swift and Kelsey have shown significant bonding over the last few months. While Swift has been regularly attending NFL games, Kelsey's absence from Swift's Eras tour in Miami grabbed the headlines. But before there were Travis and Taylor, the NFL star was apparently running a dating show. Back in 2016, Travis Kelce was just getting accustomed to NFL fame. Having recently signed with the Kansas City Chiefs, Kelce had dreams of conquering the NFL.